there is a great story from Arian Wexel from the Federalist. She writes, "It all became even more egregious when we inspect within the context of the Biden administration's foreign and domestic policies. The money trail with Iran is worse than you think." Let me just read this to you. Many of the articles surrounding the atrocities of the Hamas attacks in the past weekend have referenced the recent $6 billion deal in which the U.S. gave its money to Iran in exchange for 5 Americans. It already seemed like the worst trade in history, but it's more nefarious than simply unleashing $6 billion to Iran, a known terrorist state and the most existential threat to the free world. In reality, this one detail, hyperlinked quickly in most articles, is part of a larger spider web of hidden details. In a recent article, senior advisor of the Foundation for Defense of Democracies and former National Security Council official Richard Goldberg traces the money trail, and he confirms it's worse than you think. Listen to this. The $6 billion you've seen in all of the headlines is only the money being transferred from our friends in Qatar. This is separate from the $10 billion of assets being transferred from Iraq. That continues on a rolling basis. Then there are reports that Iran will be allowed to access $7 billion in fiat currency by trading drawing rights with the International Monetary Fund. And Japan is now scheduled to transfer $3 billion to Iran. The revelations don't end there. U.S. officials have also quietly acknowledged that they've uncapped Iranian oil exports to China. These export levels previously held by the Trump administration to 775,000 barrels per day are now estimated to be between 1.4 and 2.2 million barrels per day. Modest estimates value this relief at $25 billion annually. So the total is not $6 billion. The total orchestrated by the Biden administration to Iran is $50 billion. This is perhaps only the first layer that we know. We know Iran has already ejected international nuclear inspectors and are on their way to building a facility that is believed to be now so deep that no bunker buster could even affected. Iran didn't have to stop their production of highly enriched uranium. They're just producing it at a slower rate. And the Biden administration chose to pick up the Obama-era's decision to unrestrain Iran based on a pinky promise. Most recently, we learned that top officials were influencing the U.S. government in favor of Iranian nuclear power. A series of leaked emails now have forced the chief of staff to the Secretary of Defense. Messages show her involvement with the Iran Experts Initiative, a direct Iranian government initiative to allegedly improve the country's image. This would seem the mandate of improving the country's image included influencing the U.S. government to give Tehran more flexibility in enriching uranium. It also clarifies the quiet suspension of the Biden administration's lead Iranian negotiator, Robert Malley, which was previously unexplained. We have also come to learn that other aides were directly corresponding with the Iranian government from their U.S. government posts. Iranian lawmakers proudly chant death to America, but we make deals. We have the Biden administration making deals with the enemies of the United States of America. He has cleared the way for $50 billion to go to the biggest terrorist organization on the planet. And then he has allowed them to make money with the Chinese by allowing them to sell more of their oil while canceling our oil here in America. When's enough enough, America?